From the Alvin and Rosalie Sarachek studio, PBS Kansas presents Positively Kansas.
Coming up on Positively Kansas, we take you to the special place where a group of artists is unleashing a powerful new voice and demanding the world see their talent. Then learn about a dynasty forged in darkness and pain. Before dawn, for 50 years, they've embraced a grueling ritual that breaks down the body to build the will. And finally, a life and death struggle exposed for all to see. We'll show you the raw fight for survival when an entire ecosystem is drained overnight. Talent that demands to be seen, pain that forges champions, a fight for life itself. Positively Kansas starts now. For many, a voice can be locked away, trapped by developmental disabilities. But in Hutchinson and McPherson, a remarkable program is handing over the key. At the Clay Works, a ball of clay, a splash of paint, or a new recipe are unlocking profound ways to communicate, shattering barriers, and revealing the stunning talent within. As Chris Frank reports, this unique space isn't just creating art, it's building new futures.
At first glance, this may look like your average art studio. Paintings on the wall, brushes in jars, clay spinning on wheels, finished works on the shelves. But here at the Clay Works, something deeper is happening.
It's fun because you get to meet new people and chat with other people that you probably haven't grown up with and all that.
Zach Stoltz is one of more than 100 artists creating and growing here. For him, it's not just about painting a picture, it's about connection, confidence, and having a place to belong.
So it's been a really rewarding experience, and they have the clients have just wowed me with their ability to paint and learn a new skill, and it's been really fun getting to know them and interacting with them. And it's nice because I have a one-on-one experience with them every day. So we get to know each other, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is only the second time Stoltz and Richardson have worked together. Each brushstroke carries personal meaning, and often the art finds a home far beyond the gallery. These paintings will be going to the pediatric unit at the Hutchinson Regional Medical Center and hopefully put smiles on faces there.
Good job.
It's not just about visual art either.
The big hug.
A culinary program is serving up new skills.
And then we're going to start all over again.
And some serious encouragement.
The clients really like to explore new things, new flavors, new techniques. And we do everything step by step, so nobody's lost. We just bring them all in with us, and if they need extra help, that's what we're here to do. Very nice. You've got gentle hands with that. Nice control. It's just amazing to see the clients when they are so encouraging to each other. So each one will do something new, and they're right there saying, way to go, this is awesome, you've got this.
It teaches me my skills and how great I can use them, and I just like baking.
The Clay Works is part of Disability Supports of the Great Plains, an organization started by families looking for a better way to care for their loved ones. That spirit of family is still at the heart of everything here.
It's nice for him to be out in the community and have folks come in and realize that with individuals with special needs are not just locked away in a room all day long. They're actually out producing wonderful art that they do here.
It shows that they're capable of doing things, and just their disabilities it's just a smaller part of them. It's not the full big picture, that they're capable of having the opportunity to do big things just like everyone.
Their son, Alexander, started with Bob Ross-style paintings. Now he's developed a signature style and even sells his work.
We bought a pottery wheel for him at home. This isn't just some place he goes and then this experience leaves him.
From paintings to pottery to culinary creations, the Clayworks is transforming lives, and not just for the artists.
Clayworks is a really unique opportunity for folks to explore their creative side, and there's joy just in doing that. So creating beautiful things, but then the added benefit of being able to receive income from that creative experience, I think, is what sets our program apart from some.
Thornton says every client has been changed in some way through the program. Some learn to manage emotions better. Others, like Mitch or Amy, discover a passion they never knew they had.
Well, our philosophy is to enrich the lives of those we serve in every way possible and in the communities that we share.
That engagement happens daily, thanks to gallery visits, a public coffee shop, and even events like Shop with the Sheriff, where Clayworks artists create ornaments to help kids in need during the holidays. Reno and McPherson County Sheriff's offices work with Clayworks to raise funds to provide Christmas presents to needy children in their counties.
And we have schools that will help us out work with us and gather kids' names that really are in need this year, that year are struggling, and they give it to us, and then we, with the help of some funding, we get the money for these gifts.
Disability Supports of the Great Plains began in McPherson in 1996. Inside two McPherson Main Street storefronts, clients like Abigail Spielman work with artists like Brianna Martin.
I just like it because it's fun.
There's nothing particularly special about this lump of clay while it's worked on the wheel. But later, once the pieces have baked in the kiln, clients will add finishing touches that will set each piece apart from another. They'll be added to the store shelves for sale to the public. Their productions, not to simply pass the time. Their Clayworks are products worthy of value and acts of expression.
You can see the pure joy. You can see them having a great time what they're doing. Not only are they learning and creating, but it's also an opportunity for them to make some money, and they understand that. So they know that, hey, when I finish this awesome piece, it's gonna go in the store and somebody's gonna purchase it, and then I get all of the money.
Clayworks is funded through Medicaid.
That's through the Home and Community-Based Services program that Medicaid funds, and that's how we choose to spend our day service dollars on opportunities for our folks to create art and have an income from that art.
Folks can come to Clayworks to browse and shop in the art gallery. There's also the Scuttlebutt's coffee shop open to the public.
So it really has become this hub for not only our artists, but our community. And so it gives our artists the opportunity to meet those around them and to interact with different businesses and organizations that are locally here, here. So.
All right.
I just like making a whole bunch of different stuff. My favorite thing is the animals, the fat animals.
So I think the parents, when they come in and see what their child, well, they're adults now, but what they have created, they're like, wow, I never knew that they could do that. I didn't know they were capable of that.
You ready? Yeah.
At the Clayworks, creativity is the tool, but the real masterpiece is the growing sense of confidence, independence, and inclusion for these artists.
We're going to let it dry, and then we're going to put a handle on it.
This is more than art. It's a chance to be seen, to be valued, and to shine. This is Chris Frank for Positively Kansas.
The Clayworks operates studios in both Hutchinson and McPherson, and their galleries and gift shops are open to the public. They also welcome volunteers and community partnerships. 50 years of sunrises, 50 years of sacrifice, 50 years of synchronized power gliding across the Arkansas River. A golden anniversary is a milestone for any organization, but for Wichita State Rowing, it represents a dynasty of discipline that has shaped thousands of lives. Chris Frank takes us along for the ride.
Row 3/4, half, half.
It's a scene that's played out on Wichita's Arkansas and Little Arkansas rivers for 50 years. Rowers slicing through the water, driven by grit, teamwork, and determination to win. You can hear the sharp commands of their coxswain encouraging all to pull together in unison as they press towards the finish line.
We're pulling up ahead, that's it. Thrust, it's impossible. Yes, we have the early advantage right here, ladies. I'm a little bit on the rudder here as we go. Press on, good, 145.
Today's rowers, alumni from the past 50 years, friends and family lined the banks of the Arkansas on a rainy April weekend, gathered to celebrate a half-century of Wichita State rowing.
I'm excited to see everyone come back and get to see where we've gone in these last 50 years.
74. I was in the very first boat.
Really?
The very first practice.
Mark Hauser, part of the first team, the first boat, the first practice. He's impressed with the 50 years of progress.
The school has really gotten behind the program.
1 foot in, keep it close to the dock there, and down.
Saturday gave alumni a chance to return to the water, many for the first time since graduation, including Steve Harris.
First time in the boat in about 46 years. Me too.
They found some things had changed, including the sleek carbon fiber boats known as shells, a far cry from the wooden ones they once rode.
Hands on the dock, push away.
And as they push away and into a rowing lane, more boats are being moved in and out of the boathouse at River Vista. Boats returning are immediately wiped down to prevent a buildup of scum.
Up over heads, ready, up.
I get to watch somebody else row for a change.
Ricky Martin is a member of the WSU Shocker rowing team. On this day, she happily sits on the riverbank with her mother to observe the alums on the water and cheer for them.
I don't know about you, I really like the team, the camaraderie, doing well with my group. It feels really good to row with a group of girls.
Mom, Jennifer Wilcoxon, a Wichita native, rows at the Oklahoma City boathouse.
A bad day in the water is better than a good day on land.
Yeah. Martin's mother encouraged her daughter to check out Shocker rowing when she enrolled at Wichita State. But the early morning practices almost kept her out of the water.
When I joined Wichita State, she said, you should look into rowing. And the first thing I did at orientation was I went to the rowing table and they said, great, we'd love to have you. Practices every day at 5:45 a.m. And I said, no, thank you. But I gave it a second chance and I got up in the wee hours of the morning and I ended up really loving it.
It's a slippery little chaos agent.
Rebecca Denny rowed for WSU from 2009 to 2012. The Potwin native now lives in Iowa, but keeps up on Shocker rowing news.
And it's just as exciting to see that the community just comes together. It's so exciting. I love Wichita. You can ask everybody up in Iowa. They know everything about Kansas and about Wichita because of me. I annoy the crap out of people about Kansas. I'm very proud to be from Kansas, very proud of Wichita. I constantly talk it up.
It is time for the rowers from those early years to return to the dock. They love the chance to relive the rowing experience.
They're ready to come in. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
But not so much that they wanted to stay out on the water when that was offered to them.
How was it?
Tiring. It was a bit much.
It's only been a few years, right?
46. It was good. Had a good stroke.
He says it all came back to him once he got out on the water.
It's like tennis, you never lose a technique.
Yeah.
The alums from the mid-1970s are amazed with the changes since they graduated.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, and the oars are completely different now. Our oars were pretty much straight bladed, and they have foam on the handles. We just had wooden handles.
Wooden handles, he says, to go along with the heavier wooden boats of those first Shocker rowers compared to the modern carbon fiber shells of today. That first rowing team surprised other university teams visiting Wichita for rowing regattas. Inaugural year rower John Kendall says the Shockers had an advantage at home that turned into a disadvantage away from Wichita.
We had an advantage on the Little River when the teams came here because our coxswains knew how to steer between the arches of a bridge and around a curve. So we had a home river advantage. But when we'd go away, we were more at a disadvantage because we weren't used to the wind.
Of course we know Wichita has a lot of wind, but he says the rowers are shielded from the wind on the Little Ark River. Yale University rowers were invited to Wichita in 1976, and Shocker rowers beat the more experienced Ivy Leaguers.
We had a great start and just, I think, startled Yale. I think they thought they were just going to come here and row past us. And we knew the river, you know, racing on the curved course and stuff. And I'm glad the race ended when it did because they were gaining on us, that we beat them.
Those early Shocker rowing teams, like Rodney Dangerfield, often got no respect when competing back east.
They'd say, Wichita State, where do you row in Wichita? Yeah. I said, we put wheels on them and we row on the wheat fields.
That's a good one.
There were also some terrorizing times on the water during training that these rowers relived at the 50th.
We had to be rescued.
Jana Fries-Schmidt remembers a traumatic experience rowing on the Little Arkansas near the 13th Street Manissa Bridge.
And it was cold and it was chaotic.
She says they hit a hidden log, which put a hole in their shell. They took on very cold water on a February day.
Firemen had to come and some of us went to the hospital for hypothermia.
They laugh now because that was more than 3 decades ago.
It really bonded us as a team.
Yet here, they are 30-plus years later and ready to relive the happier times with no ice to break and no hidden logs to strike.
Lean away, push off, and push.
You know, the best thing about making the 50th anniversary is we're still vertical.
Yeah, they were humble beginnings.
Shocker rowing alums are pleased to see these modern facilities. Rowers are able to make a short walk with their boats right from the water to the boathouse. 50 years ago, rowers walked a couple of city blocks, dodging traffic to store their boats.
We are extremely grateful to the city of Wichita and all of our partners in the community for making this possible. River Vista for reaching out and working with us to design the space and give us the ability to be under their building.
WSU tied the Golden Anniversary weekend into their Plains Regional Championship. 8 teams were here competing on Sunday. The west bank of the river was filled with all the former generations of Shocker rowing mixed with the current generation.
You look at it and be like, wow, this is really cool. And this is really a great moment for Shocker rowing. And for me, I'm just trying to take a moment and make sure that I let it soak in and I appreciate it, that I'm lucky enough to be here during this time, because tomorrow it's over.
Boats named with former Shocker rowers and in honor of endowment funds were dedicated and christened. Coach Cupp says the program's future depends on the endowment funds to continue.
And push off.
The anniversary celebration, an opportunity for those of the past and the present to meet and appreciate how far the program has come.
It's exciting to see where we were at the first year of rowing and now, like, how we've evolved.
So for now, current rowers like her will continue making waves and try to leave the competitors in their wake with their own hopes of returning in 50 years for the 100th anniversary.
Press! Press! Squeeze! Length! Squeeze! Paddle now! Paddle now! Amazing job, ladies. Amazing job. I'm so proud of you guys.
From the river's west bank, this is Chris Frank for Positively Kansas.
The program at Wichita State is an independent varsity sport with much of its funding self-generated and from family endowments. While generations of rowers have seen the river as a constant, dependable partner in their training, the truth is that our waterways are incredibly dynamic and fragile. A sudden change, like a planned drain to repair a nearby lake, can completely upend the balance of that ecosystem. Mike Blair shows us in this week's Kansas Wild Edge Report.
The river. It's a dynamic system teeming with life. And through the seasons, it sustains myriad creatures. Water is its lifeblood, and when banks are full, all is well. But a sudden loss of water is catastrophic to the river and its dependents. Rapid drops are seldom seen in nature. But when caused by outside forces, chaos and destruction occur. This was illustrated when a section of the Nenaskaw River was purposely drained to allow repair of an adjacent lake. In less than 12 hours, water levels over several miles dropped nearly 30 inches in the shallow river, forming dry zones, riffles, and shoals. I spent several days learning how this wreaked havoc on fish, muskrats, and other aquatic species, while resulting in a sudden buffet for predators and scavengers. Change came swiftly. Backwaters and sloughs were first impacted, drying and forcing fish to flee. Fish are wired to move upstream against rising water, so the unnatural sudden drop that called for a reverse exit was confusing. As pools dropped and formed rapidly dwindling escape chutes, fish large and small seemed to hesitate, many for too long. As they resisted surfing to deeper water downstream, numbers of them sealed their fates to be trapped in shallows. These largemouth bass, cruising with their backs exposed, waited until the escape route was closed. Smaller bluegills, swimming in schools, tried to exit again and again, but afraid of their only chance, most turned back. Only occasionally would a fish break for deeper water, wriggling and flipping its way to safety. Turtles and frogs moved openly, crawling for cover as the water went down. They had the advantage of breathing air, unlike fish whose gills must stay submerged. So all along the river, some fish big and small were stranded and doomed, many still fighting to get upstream as the water receded. And by nightfall, many lay dead on newly exposed mud. Birds moved in. Local hunters like great blue herons found trapped or dead fish, some partially eaten by raccoons and minks overnight. And they ate at their leisure throughout the day. Ducks and migrating shorebirds traced along the shallows, feeding on aquatic insects, and minnows bunched into smaller waters. Even migrating birds like gulls flying high overhead recognized the unusual hunting grounds and quickly dropped to fill their tanks before moving on. Bullheads, small sunfish, insects, and crawdads were all on the menu. It was a fascinating aftermath to an unnatural disaster. Now, this event will continue for weeks before normal river levels are restored. The water won't dry completely due to upstream springs. But fish that survive in small pools will be at much greater risk, and population levels will plummet for many river species. Today, it is what it is, but one day things will return to normal. I'm Mike Blair for Positively Kansas.
Well, that's a wrap for this week. Now that federal funding has been taken away and our PBS Kansas budget dramatically cut, we need to decide which local programs to keep and which ones to cancel. If you'd like to see Positively Kansas remain on the air, you can go to kpts.org and make a $100 donation to help keep the show funded. As my part, I do the show for free. And as a thank you, your name will appear in the closing credits each week as a valued supporter. Thank you for all your support. I'm Sierra Scott. See you next time.